In fact, someone has told me to my face that, man, you must not like having aura. My name is Philippe, and for those of you who are not chronically online, let's start with a definition of aura. From the Oxford English Dictionary, aura is defined as the distinctive atmosphere or quality that seems to surround and be generated by a person, thing, or object. You know, I love the Oxford English Dictionary, but I don't love this definition. The Urban Dictionary defines aura as a measure of how cool, confident, and respected someone is. I like the term aura more than your traditional confident or cool, because confidence is seen as something you have or you don't. They're the cool people and the not so cool people. And once you're assigned to one of these groups, there's not that much you can do to change it. But aura is something you can gain or lose. So, to make sure everyone's on the same page, let's go through a few examples. So let's say you're walking in a busy crowd and it just parts for you so you can walk through. Is that an aura gain or an aura loss? It's an aura gain. Now let's say as you're walking, you trip. Aura gain or aura loss? A big aura loss. Giving a TED talk. Aura gain or aura loss? Tripping on your way to give said TED talk, aura gain or aura loss? Negative infinity, aura loss. Actually being in pain after you trip on your way to give your TED talk, but you actually can't say that you're in pain so that you can actually give an idea what's spreading, I'll let you be the judge of that. When people gain or lose aura, there's a certain number of aura points attached to it. When I heard that, it first reminded me of the saying, what gets measured gets managed. For instance, if you struggle with time management, it might help to see how much time you allocate to each task in the day, and then allocate your time better. Or, if you're struggling in class, have a look at your previous and current exam scores, then make a plan from there on how to improve. You might expect that since aura helps you measure confidence, it should actually help us become more confident. But here's the catch. You can't really measure your own aura. Other people determine it for you, hence our exercise earlier. It's easy to see that when you bring in when you bring in people to measure things for you, you actually bring in competition. So for example, in athletics, you often see athletes competing for the most impressive personal best. In classrooms, you see students competing for the highest exam score. With aura, I'm yet to see people actively compete to see who has the most aura. But when people constantly gain aura, it's easy to see them become big-headed, proud, and arrogant. While people who keep losing aura become shy, humiliated, and discouraged. And it's very concerning that the latter group form an overwhelming majority. A Psychology Today article estimates that roughly 85% of adults and teenagers experience low self-esteem. And one place where I see this very frequently is in the school cafeteria. So one day, I was walking to go to the cafeteria, and I was standing in line with my best friend, and in front of me, there was a girl, and for the record, she was half my age and half my height. So I noticed that she looks back and looks forward, glances back and then looks forward, before turning around completely, looking up at me, and saying, "I think you're really cool." Was that an aura gain or an aura loss? I don't gain aura very often, so you might think I'm making up that story, but trust me, you can't make up what happened next. I say thank you because I appreciate the compliment, and then because it's a busy cafeteria and the lunch line is moving, she says something else, but I can't quite hear it. I'm too shy to ask her to repeat herself, so I just read her lips and try to backtrack and figure out what she said. After a few seconds, I conclude that she said, "What uni?" And for the record, this was the thick of university application season. Therefore, it made completely perfect and logical sense that a girl I have never met before who's half my age is asking me which university I'll be attending this autumn. I was going to be honest, so I just say, "I don't know." And she looks at me very confused before turning to get her food. I turn back to see my best friend cackling because he heard what she actually said. She did not say, "What uni?" She asked, "What's your name?" And I said, "I don't know." That was single-handedly the biggest aura loss of my entire career. So what happened next? It's not fun being the butt of the joke. It's not fun having a reputation of being the guy who's always humiliating himself. So I became quiet. I stopped striking up new conversations with people, and I just did my own thing, hoping no one would notice or ask me questions. Until I bump into Lunchline Girl again. In that moment, I just want to apologize, say sorry, and move away. But for whatever reason, I stand there, smiling, and say, "Hi, my name is Philip. What's your name?" Her hearing is much better than mine, and we just pick up from where we left off. And we have one of the most engaging conversations I've ever had. I find out that she's a huge fan of one of us is lying, just like me. And I also find out that our names are frequently misspelled, ironically because people always think our names have 2 L's, when in fact, they have 1. We also are members of the same after-school clubs. After this whole conversation, did I gain or did I lose aura? I didn't care. Because in that moment, I was in so much aura debt that whatever I did that's gained aura wouldn't make a difference. And if I lost more aura, it would also not make that big of a difference. So I just did what instinct told me, and that's when it clicked. This is true confidence. Just doing whatever you want, not caring about other people's opinions or whether you'll stumble or not. So if you are in significant aura debt, take heart. You're in the same situation I was, so you can't really gain or lose aura significantly. So you do you. Fortunately, you don't have to be near negative infinity aura to benefit from escaping the matrix of people's opinions. But what can help is experiencing something so humiliating and then realizing that you're okay. If that doesn't sound fun, spoiler alert, it isn't. Here's a quote I hope you can remember. "Confidence is not a belief in success, it's a comfort with failure," by Christina Grimmie. So go on, try that new hobby, wear that new hairstyle, talk to that new person. Don't worry about whether you'll gain or lose aura, whether you'll do well or not. As you discover and engage with new people, just do what you want to do, and you'll find that your aura simply glows and radiates. Thank you.